Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. So today we are back with Operation Below Ground Base, and we are going to revisit the elevator for this base. Alright, so the first elevator that we built was with pistons and it didn't go so well, so I decided to experiment with a wheel-based elevator, which kind of worked out okay. So let's go check it out. Alright, so the wheel-based elevator system is going to be this here. And that is rotors attached with small grid wheels. So what I did here is create a column on each side of the wall and have these wheels and rotors grip onto them so that it can go up and down against these columns to create this elevator. And there's a set of 4 on each side of a column, and inside here you have 2 against the wall this way too. That way it can grip so that the system doesn't lean diagonally or tilt in some ways. So all 4 pillars have the same setup. So on this side you're gonna see the same thing on this side here, gripped here. And then if we go to the opposite side, you see it again, 4 sets of wheels on each side of a column and the 2 inner ones, which will hold it together. That way it keeps it balanced and it moves pretty well. And of course, since it's a subgrid, a grid that's separate from the base itself, because it's, you know, attached by rotors and wheels, we had to add batteries to them too. So underneath is just the setup of it with the columns and the wheel gripping. And there's a landing gear here so I can stop it on the very bottom. And of course, we added an extra security point, which is 2 sets on both sides on this column, right down the middle. So that way, hopefully, if we run into an issue, the whole system will stay straight and true and not slant and get curved. And speaking of this landing gear, that is the best way to stop this type of elevator right now. And it usually is going to stop it right over here. It looks like it kind of broke a little bit at some point. So let's just fix that. And yeah, so this will stop here. And the height of it will be perfectly matched to this height over here. So there's a few things I need to work on, and that is how to stop it for each layer or each room. At first, you're gonna see that in the time lapse, I created these little lines here because I put landing gear on the side of the elevator so that it can grip onto these at certain points. So you can unlock them and they'll grip onto the next one, unlock that one, it keeps going up and so forth. It worked well going up, but didn't work well going down because the platform was way too high at some points. And eventually it actually did get caught onto the wall here a little bit and caused the whole system to kind of tilt a little bit, which was not great because that almost broke the whole entire system, which luckily it didn't. And of course we need to find a solution to recharge those batteries, which is putting solar panels on here for now. We gotta think it through, maybe use something else to power it up when we can. I know you could probably use merge blocks to lock them in place when we need to. Let's say replace that landing gear here with a merge block attached to this platform, which can work, but the only problem is that it potentially can break the wheels attached to here. And that happened during testing of this type of elevator system, which wasn't ideal with the merge block. So landing gears are the best way to do it. And the plan I believe I have for creating each stage to stop on each level is I got to drill a little bit through the wall, create some kind of piston to extend out with the landing gear, whether it's up or down of the platform, so we can hold it depending on where we are on the top floor, from the top going down or from the bottom going up. So this system works pretty well. Only weird thing that happens is that every time I log in, it randomly decides to kind of move differently or manipulate a little bit differently. So once I load up now, a few of the wheels broke, but they're so easy to fix anyways. So let's look at the system very quickly. So right now it's on a reverse, meaning the wheels are reversed and trying to go down, but right now it can't go down because it's locked. So once I hit this button, which will unlock the landing gear, it's going to start going down. And the system goes down fairly slowly, which is not too bad and not too great. But if it goes any faster, there's a chance of, breaking more things. So let's take a look at how some of this looks like. So if you're next to the wheels, you'll see that it's just slowly pretty much driving down towards the bottom, and it's gripping really well against all these columns and all these points, and the system is not like tilting a little bit left or right. So the best way to look at that is actually going into the seat here, and you see that line in the middle. It's almost perfectly horizontal, which is the best way and ideal thing to have. And this thing can actually carry weight, because I put my large orange truck here and on one side, and it didn't tilt the whole thing either. So that worked out pretty well. So this system, a little bit better than the piston system, because the piston system seems to cause a little more issues than it can, and it's only held by one piston. And I was thinking of adding more, which worked okay, but this wheel system seems to work a little bit better. I think there's a way to kind of combine the two if we wanted to. But for the time being, this works probably the best for now. The biggest problem I have is that I cannot connect it with, directly onto the wall with these blocks. So I had to use like half blocks instead of full blocks. If you use full blocks, it's going to grind off of the wall, which is going to cause a lot of issues and potentially break some of the rotors and the wheel system too. In the front, it's using these blast door edges so that it kind of won't clang too much against the walls here. So you'll see once it stops, it's gonna be a nice little kind of a connection. Not the greatest connection, but it's very close. And instead of using full block again, which is gonna cause clang, if we surround the whole entire platform, using the blast doors works a little bit better. In order to go up, we gotta reverse the rotors and then release that landing gear on the very bottom, as you see here. If you want to look at the settings, I'm just gonna go over it briefly because I have a video to show you exactly what I did with this type of build and the various ways you can build it with the rotors and the small grid wheels. And let's look at one rotor. So I named them all so I know where they are, and that took some time, to be honest. So each one of these actually has a small head instead of a large head. And they're all set at a normal torque of 33.6, no braking, and the velocity is at 15 or -15 depending on which side they're on, so that it rotates together simultaneously and not against each other. And the rest I kind of left as is, like rotor displacements and stuff like that. Just didn't touch any of that. So each one is going to be similar. The only difference is the velocity, whether it's 15 or -15. So that's pretty much the setup of the system in a brief standpoint. We're going to have a video for you guys soon to show you exactly how we built this system and the various ways you can build it so that you can make sure your elevator system doesn't tilt. Alright, so the elevator system is making its way up, and of course I have a time lapse for you guys, and that is digging through the sidewalls just to make these columns, creating the elevator, and also seeing some of the mistakes that I made along the way. So sit back, relax, and hope you guys enjoy that time lapse. once again, thank you guys very much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, you know what to do. And that's, of course, hit that thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and also hit that notification bell to be alerted of upcoming videos. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.